The Justice Department is investigating a possible bribery scheme involving paying bribes in order to secure presidential pardons. These bribes are allegedly being paid to individuals who are close to the White House. And the whole point is to eventually influence the president of the United States, Donald Trump, to pardon certain individuals. Now, here's the problem with this Justice Department investigation. It's heavily redacted. We don't know who's involved. We don't even know if Donald Trump is aware of this alleged plot, okay? So that's where we're at. I'll give you the details that we do know. For instance, the Department of Justice investigation involves 2 people whose names are redacted, who were improperly acting as lobbyists to secure the pardon for a person whose name is also redacted. The plot involved the person offering a substantial political contribution in exchange for a presidential pardon or reprieve of sentence. Now, again, just to reiterate, at this point, we don't know what Donald Trump's involvement is or if he's even aware of this plot. And the news also comes at a time when he is considering pardoning a number of his associates, friends, goons, whatever you want to label them as. He's even considering, based on conversations that he's had privately, which were leaked to the press, pardoning his own family members preemptively. He might even consider pardoning himself preemptively, although legal experts say that the law is a little shaky on that. But can the president preemptively pardon someone even before they're facing any charges? Because as we know, Trump's children at this moment aren't facing any charges, but there are criminal investigations into some of their conduct during the Trump administration and in regard to some of their business practices. Well, it turns out that, yeah, the president can do that. It has happened in the past. Gerald Ford had done a preemptive pardon on Richard Nixon in regard to the Watergate scandal. Richard Nixon had not been charged with a crime yet, but assuming that he was going to be, Gerald Ford decided to pardon him preemptively, and apparently that was totally fine. So there is precedent for that. However, there is no precedent for a president preemptively pardoning himself. So I guess we'll see how this all plays out. John.
You ever wonder if Nixon had been sent to jail, how different history could be? If it would have just put a little bit of fear into all the presidents and the people running for president that they can't spend their entire terms breaking the law and get away with it. Because they do, I mean they do, and we always rely on the fact that the next president is going to be a Democrat who's going to look forward instead of backward. And yet we're still continuing that. Trump is all scared about these investigations when the only investigations he can protect himself from are the ones Joe Biden would never launch against him at the federal level anyway. He's just not gonna do it. And the state stuff, he can't protect them against. That at least has a chance. I believe it's probably a very small chance. Not even necessarily because Trump is the president, but because he's wealthy and they never seem to go to jail. They can just drag it out as long as they want. $100 million in legal fees just gives you another 5 years, I guess. And it's not like Trump is gonna last that much longer anyway. The entire thing is just ridiculous. I mean, if you're in the DOJ, you had to be ready for this, right? Like, it's the most obvious crime in the world that he's gonna try to use this ridiculous king-like power that they gave him to make cash. I can't wait to find out how much money he was asking for, because I bet it's way lower than you think. I'm thinking $25,000 for a presidential pardon. I don't think it was in the millions.
The story that drives me crazy, because no one seems to care about it, is the fact that there's proof, there's evidence of Donald Trump basically funneling money to his private businesses to the tune of $8 million. And it's a total violation of the emoluments clause. Total violation, but anyway.
Yeah, but that's just in the Constitution though.
I know, who cares about that? Who cares about that? It's just, it's so infuriating. But we'll see how this all plays out. I just do think it's interesting that, behind the scenes, the thing that he is really worried about is how he could be held accountable for some of his actions, legally speaking, as soon as he's out of the White House. I think that's part of the reason why he's been so gung-ho about refusing to accept the election results. But we'll definitely update you guys on this as we learn more. One other quick thing I wanted to mention is, in regard to the Department of Justice investigation, as I mentioned, it's heavily redacted. We don't even know. We don't even know if Donald Trump is part of this plot, aware of the plot, right? So if these types of investigations were being done on any reasonable person, smart person, then you would just shut up, right? Like, don't say anything publicly, no one's been named, but Trump can't help himself. So on Twitter, he wrote, "Pardon investigation is fake news." Oh, okay, so that tells me that you were aware of the plot. That's what it communicates to me. That's the way it reads to, I think, most people, because why are you acting suspicious if you didn't do anything wrong?
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.